Welcome back to the Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour. I'm Mike Witzak.
I'm Rory Farrell.
And today is not only a special day because it is the end of Philly Beer Week, but it is Rory Farrell's birthday today.
Yes, sir. Big 3-9.
Yeah.
It's an exciting one.
Yeah, dude. AARP is going to be calling you soon. This is crazy.
I feel good for 39.
39. I always thought you were in like your early 30s.
Thank you.
You know, so
I have a decade and a half of more life experience than you.
over a decade and a half. 60.
All right.
Oh, well, no. You're not 40 yet, right? You're 15.
Just said I'm 39.
Yeah, 15.
He's
yeah.
not good at math.
I'm not. That's why I'm in mortgages. No. So, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
And you brought us a very special beer here, it looks like. This
Yeah.
time, the audio is recording this time. So,
Thank God. Last time I popped something out of my cellar, you totally screwed up the whole podcast. You didn't
Yeah.
record it or whatever it was. But
talk to production about it.
Yep. So, we don't pay them enough. End of Philly Beer Week, I wanted to do something a little special. Consequently, it was also my birthday week, so kind of a fun thing. I pulled this out of my cellar. It's not technically a Philly brewery. It's Tired Hands out of Ardmore, so just outside of Philly. But they do have a little brew pub in, or not a brew pub, but like a tap room in Philly. So this is something that's been in my cellar for a couple years now. It's a Berliner Weiss style. So actually, I want you to read. I think it's made with like cinnamon, vanilla.
How do you say it? Berliner
Weiss.
Weiss.
Yeah.
Weiss.
It's a German style. Comes from northern Germany. Is that where that style kind of
Composed
originated.
of raw wheat and a touch of malted rye. Ferment it with our magical saison
Saison
yeast and naturally sourced in a large oak.
Fooder.
Yeah, fooder. Whoa, there's a lot of words here. I don't know. With our house microflora, conditioned on hibiscus flowers, vanilla beans, and cinnamon, then re-ferment it in the bottle for natural carbonation. I also wanted to ask, is there a cork in this?
There
Looks like
might
there's
be.
a cork in this. No, I know you have a corkscrew, yeah, but I'm just saying I've never seen a beer with a cork before.
Well, you've never had a fancy beer. They don't.
Yeah, I
they don't
guess.
put corkscrews in PBRs for you.
I know.
All right, so pop it up. This might take a second. So why don't you? I don't know. Talk about something. Talk
All
about
right.
what we're going to talk about.
I guess, yeah, we'll talk about, our topic for today. Yeah, go do your thing, man. Our topic for today, we can't have dead air here, so I got to just dive into the topic piece. We're going to be talking about, as a brokerage, we have multiple different products we can offer. It's not just straight conventional FHA, USDA, VA. We have multiple different things we can offer along the lines of those. So we want to talk about a couple different scenarios we run into where maybe it's cheaper to actually go FHA than conventional. Maybe it's cheaper to go PHFA. Ooh.
I was really nervous that was.
Ooh, I thought it was going to be like a champagne. That's what I got.
Just smell it. It smells a little champagne-y.
Okay. It does actually, yeah. It's very nice though. I'm excited to try this. This is crazy.
Yeah. So what you were saying is, as a broker, we have options to place loans in many different with lenders.
We work with over 20 plus banks.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know.
we don't. Yeah. We don't love to send them to the 20th bank on our list.
We are signed up with 20 plus banks. We have options with 20 plus banks. We don't work with 20 plus banks because it's just not plausible. You can't have that great of relationships with all of them, and some of them are just better than others. It is what it is.
But the point is that we have these options, and not every borrower. It's not a one size fits all for every borrower. Some have lower credit, higher credit, more down payment, less down payment. Some need grants, so on and so forth. So it's important as a broker to kind of know all of your options so that you can provide the best loan style for every particular borrower. So before we kind of get into that, I'll talk a little bit about the beer. Again, Berliner Weiss style. It's a northern German style. It's been around for like 500 or 600 years. It's going to be a lower ABV. It's technically like a tart wheat ale. So the yeast that they use, they talked about the microflora. It's going to be a little bit of a sourish type of beer. So cheers.
Cheers.
You know what you think? It's going to be.
I'm kind of excited. I have high expectations for this.
Funky and weird.
Huh. It almost has like a sour taste, like a sour, like that sour tardiness.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Tart.
Yeah. As I was
listening
saying it, I'm like, well, he just said it was tart. But no, it's exactly what it reminds me of a sour. Yeah. But it says nothing about the sour here.
Oh, it does a little bit. So let's see here. talks about if you know what you're talking about, it talks about that.
You see, it doesn't say sour, so I don't know what
microflora.
It doesn't say it.
Long story short, tart wheat ale, probably like 5% maybe if I had to guess. This one's done with hibiscus and cinnamon and vanilla, so it's got a couple weird funky flavors, but I think it aged nicely. It's much more mellow than it probably would have been, whatever, 3-4 years ago.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I actually do like it.
This one, if anyone's interested, it's Tired Hands Altar, ALTAR. So,
you know what? I would buy a bottle.
Okay, cool.
I know you don't buy these in 4-packs. I hope
you do
don't
not
buy these in 4-packs. But
yeah, how much
I'd buy a bottle of this actually.
Well, I'm glad that we found something you like.
Shout out Tired Hands.
Happy end of Philly Beer Week.
Yeah.
So let's get into the mortgage stuff. So I ran into a situation this week where I was qualifying someone. He had like 730-ish credit.
Yep.
First-time home buyer under the income limit. So he would have qualified for a program called Home Ready or Home Possible.
Yep.
Which eliminates those LLPAs, gives better mortgage insurance.
It helps you get, basically, in very simple terms, is it helps you get a better rate because based on your income.
Correct.
Where your income is at. Yeah.
So if I didn't think twice about it, if I didn't kind of walk through the scenario, I would have just qualified him for that program. It would have been a great program for him. And he would have been totally fine, normal conventional loan. But what I then realize is, oh, wait, hold on a second. This guy qualifies for PHFA. So in this particular situation, his PHFA rate was actually an eighth better. His mortgage insurance was a little bit higher, but I was able to give him like $11,000 in grant money. So when I called him back and said, hey, congratulations, you're pre-qualified. And oh, by the way, we have you set up for this grant program that is going to provide you $11,000 in closing cost assistance. He was like flipping out.
Yeah.
So just kind of one of the things that speaks to like, number one, being a broker and having options and kind of looking through those options and taking that initiative to not just settle for the first easy thing and getting these people qualified. Like what makes the most sense for these borrowers? What's going to benefit them the most? And really, that's what helps us to build these lasting relationships because it's just, we spend a lot of time on each borrower to make sure that we're just, doing the right thing by them and doing the best thing for them.
For sure. And I think there's a situation I ran into recently where it's harder to get a house under contract right now, FHA. But
sure,
in many situations, you might have somebody who has a 700 or 710 credit score where it might be cheaper for them to go FHA than to go conventional, because what will end up happening is that 710, it's going to cause them to have a higher mortgage insurance rate. It's going to have them a higher rate conventional. And if you went FHA, your rate's going to be lower. Your mortgage insurance rate is fixed at the 0.55. Whereas if it was conventional, it might be 0.7, it might be 1,
sure.
And your mortgage insurance can be really expensive. So it all depends on the borrower, and you have to make sure you find a loan officer that is tailoring the loan to your needs.
Yeah.
It's like if you go to buy a suit at Macy's, great. It's a good suit and you got a suit and that's what you need it. Or if you want to get something tailored to fit you, you have to go somewhere a little bit nicer. And it's like, find that lender that's going to tailor something to fit you and not just put you in a normal.
I believe that's called a bespoke.
Yeah, that's what that would be called.
Mortgage broker.
Bespoke Post. To shout out them, send us money. But yeah, in all seriousness, I think it's very important to find somebody that's going to do that and find the loan that fits your needs.
Yeah, taking the time and caring. It kind of comes back to that theme a lot in this podcast and the things that we talk about, but it is something that has been instilled in us as loan officers coming from the top down in our company.
Yeah,
really caring about the client and doing the right thing for them and not necessarily the easy thing or the bottom line, what's going to make the company or us the most money. So
we should get a mural of Bob Rubin. Back here, and it's like that's like
and then Tom sitting.
Yeah, and then Tom. Yeah, it's like the Step Brothers picture, Bob and Tom. That would be a good one. But yeah, it's always been something that our company's really enforced, and I think, hey, it shows.
It's honestly the only reason I'm even in this business, because if I got hired by Bank of America for some reason, or some big bank who didn't value those things, I would have been out of this industry a long time ago. Mm-hmm. It would have been brutal. So, win for you.
Win for me. My win this week would be, I had lunch with a realtor today. I'm trying to, stay on top of doing that once a week. But I think my win would be I had a couple come to me last week and they wanted some estimates on a home. And, they were shopping rates before they had a house under contract. They were kind of a little bit mixed up in the process. They didn't know what was the next move. So I kind of sat them down. I had a conversation with them. I explained everything in detail on how the process works, what kind of the next steps are, when you're going to want to lock a rate in, when you're going to want to start shopping for a rate. Don't go out during the pre-qual process and have your credit ran by 13 different people, it's just not worth it. You're not going to get a house under contract. So they've been super ecstatic with me. I've wrote them many estimates. They've been out house shopping. I've been able to provide them with estimates when they've asked for them and on time, and they couldn't be more thankful. So it's just, that's probably my win for the week in the world of mortgages.
Cool. So. And what you brought up, and these are going to be topics for maybe the next couple podcasts, but one thing is, when does it make sense to run credit, and how does it affect you if multiple lenders run credit? And then also when to shop around, because a lot of times people will come to me and say, hey, I need to get pre-approved and I want to shop your rates. And I'm like, we can kind of talk about that in another podcast. It's a deeper subject, but again, it kind of goes back to informing people like what it means to shop a rate, when makes the most sense.
Yeah, for sure. And
how to protect your credit.
Exactly. And rates, a big thing, we'll talk about this again more, but rates change daily. If you don't have a house under contract and you're not getting a rate locked in that day, I can quote you a rate today, but if the economy gets worse or better the next day, it could be better or worse. You won't know until you have a house under contract and we get that agreement of sale and we have that to go to the bank and say, hey, we're locking in.
Sure.
There are lock and shop things. There's things like that you can do, but we'll talk about that more in another episode.
Cool.
So, sorry, I'm just going on.
No, that's all right. It's fodder for the next couple episodes maybe. So
yeah.
My win for the week is just meeting with new realtors, meeting with current realtors, and building relationships. I had a settlement with a realtor that I've been working with and working on building a relationship with. I have a coffee date tomorrow.
A date? Whoa, who?
Just a young lady.
A realtor?
A realtor, young
lady. Nice, very nice.
And then also just a productive phone call with a realtor that I've been kind of pursuing and trying to build a relationship with. So it's a long, slow burn, and you got to kind of earn their trust and earn their business and
it's a very long and slow burn,
but it is, it's part of the business, and it's fun to create those relationships and, eventually prove yourself and your company. And
yeah, absolutely.
So, and that was my number one goal in 2023. It wasn't necessarily volume. It's a tough year to build volume and to kind of use that as a metric for success. But one of my goals in 2023 was to really build relationships solidly with realtors who are up and coming and who are kind of my stage of the industry and my stage of their careers, and just kind of continue to grow with them as they grow.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm psyched about this beer. I love it. I'm glad that we opened this one.
I actually like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So very good.
Anything else to add?
No, I have nothing.
Any plans this weekend?
I do have work. Besides work, Marathon Mortgage is the team name for our beer pong team. We have a beer pong tournament at a bar in Philly on Saturday at 2 p.m. My partner bailed on me. I'm trying to find another partner now. But winner gets a 10-person open bar.
That is such
a Philly thing.
How old are you? Gen Z? What's your generation?
How old am I, Rory?
24.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's such a generational thing.
Well, hey, look, dude.
I'll be taking kids to soccer practice and swim lessons. So
yeah,
that's where you'll find me.
That's cool, and I appreciate what you're doing, but it's not as cool as going to a beer pong tournament with the name Marathon Mortgage. So I figured, why not do some free advertising while we're there?
There you go. All right. Well, happy end of Philly Beer Week. I hope you learned a little bit today.
Yeah.
And I hope you learned a little bit on last week's episode with you venturing through the city to find some punch.
I learned something new.
Pretzel ale.
Every episode,
cool.
Especially about beers.
Hope everyone had a great week. Hope everyone gets to enjoy the weather, and we'll see you.
Yeah, see you in the next one.
Next Friday.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy birthday, dude.
Thank you.
Doodly doo.